The riff, bro.
Wow, we're back. I feel like I'm.
You're 80 years old again?
No, that my chair went down.
Okay. Yeah,
We're
you look
here
good, man.
At the
RiFF D-A-R-F-F.
Yeah, love it.
Look at that. No mask. Everybody's clapping for us.
Hey. I got my mask here. Actually.
Okay.
So I'm gonna introduce our friends. My brother.
Yes, please do.
We have James from Boulder, Colorado, and incredible Andrea here from Maui. Two great string players, internationally and national and island-wise, and the most sexiest editor.
Aloha, James.
Look at you, Arlie.
Mahalo, James, for coming on the riff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so great you made the journey.
Thank you for having me.
man.
Yeah. Thanks for having me here.
Yeah, and Andrea, thank you for coming back.
She's our repeater.
Yeah,
here.
very own the riff, Andrea Walls.
But yeah, we're gonna start off. So Andrea, let's introduce how you guys met and stuff, and let's do it up here.
Well, our dear friend Willow, who sang with us last night.
Yeah, at the Java.
At Java Jazz. We had so much fun. James came to sit in. Brian and I play there every Friday. James came to sit in with us last night, and our friend Willow, who introduced us. Anyway, James is visiting from Boulder, Colorado, and we kind of have a similar history in being really passionate about Balkan music and Turkish music and going to some of the same music camps and know a lot of the same people, but we had never met until his trip to Maui.
Awesome. What was that first one? I heard Turkish. What was the first one?
Balkan.
Balkan?
Yeah, it's from the Viking days.
Oh, is it?
No.
Oh, gosh. Hey, James, come on. I just met you. You got to be on my side.
Yeah.
So Bulgaria, Crete, the Grecian area, like Greece and the Grecian islands, and Turkey, the Izmir, and then like Serbia.
Wow.
And Macedonia.
That's very outside of my musical experience.
Yeah.
So
it's farther than Molokini, the island of Molokini and Molokai and Lanai.
How would you explain that kind of music, like as far as modal like?
Yeah, it is modal, and often it's in compound meters, like 2s and 3s, and they add up to whatever. And so it's like often in odd time signatures.
I love odd time signature.
I like it. Yeah.
It's all for. I love them now too, but it's been like 25 years. I go to a redwood forest camp called Balkan Camp. So in the middle of the Mendocino forest for a week, you're there, you park your car. It's all day, all night. You learn, you eat, you drink, you dance, and play, and listen to just fabulous music, and dance in odd time signatures. I think it's so healthy for us.
You know what? I want to do that right now.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Well, because of COVID, we haven't been able to have that camp live, and it was
that's
a
right.
big part of my year, before. So we've had to do it virtual.
Wow.
How is that the transition from getting together in a group in a wonderful forest and stuff to watering it down? I mean,
how do you think that is? It's pretty pale.
Yeah.
No, everybody dances in a circle. You're holding hands.
Oh yeah.
And moving and breathing together.
Wow.
Well, if you have people in the household, that you're holed up with, I mean, at least you got that.
My wife and I get to dance. We go to these like Zoom dance party things or festivals or workshops, and there's all these people in their own room dancing by themselves, and like Hollywood Squares, and at least my wife and I, she's a great, especially Greek dance leader, and so we get to dance together. But otherwise, missing that community has been the biggest sort of painful part of this whole experience.
So cello, is that your main instrument, or your only instrument, or there's other instruments that you play?
Cello was the first instrument, and then by going to Balkan Camp, I started learning violin tunes on cello, which really kicked my butt as far as technique goes.
Oh man!
And then I started learning gadulka, which is a little Bulgarian fiddle-like thing where you play like this. It's wild, but it's
That's
how big is it? Is it?
It's a teardrop shape, about like a foot and a half.
It's like a lute.
No, it's like a lira or the little fiddly things they have all over the Balkans.
So it's
and the
played
Middle
with
East.
it's played with a bow, and it's not it's held like this.
It's in a belt around my neck. My right hand, the bow hand is upside down,
Cool.
and you play the string sideways with your fingers using the opposite muscles than any normal instrument. You don't push anything down; you just push sideways, and with your fingernails on a few of the string.
Wow.
On a
Oh, that's
few of the
weird.
It's crazy.
It's a very ethnic instrument, only found in certain areas of the world.
It's Bulgarian.
Okay.
You can't. Wow, that's I never did hear
And
that
it
instrument.
has drone strings. How many?
It has 11 sympathetic strings.
Okay.
11.
I'm gonna look it up.
Yeah.
See,
I'm gonna look it up, and then I'm gonna put up a nice picture of one of those things.
Gadulka. It's
Gadulka.
the first vowel is not in English, so it's either a U or an A, but Gudl, Ulka.
Okay. You can also probably get a nice bowl of
cereal.
gadulka,
Cereal?
with a side
Is
of
it organic or is it
Sideberries.
with the organic oatmeal mixed in with lao lao?
No oatmeal for me.
so
but-
so that
so I
that
also-
instrument, right?
Yeah.
Any more instruments?
Yeah,
Okay.
I play bouzouki, which is a Greek folk
Not
instrument.
bazooka, right? Bazooki.
No, not bazooka.
Suzuki.
Bazooki has more impact, I think, than a bazooka.
How big is the bazooki?
It's like a long neck mandolin, like a guitar kind of size, but
Yeah.
skinny neck. So I don't have to deal with the E and the A string on the guitar. I just have, it's strung in the same way that a ukulele is. And so then
Oh.
that's why I brought my tenor uke over here so I can practice.
Very cool.
And the chords are the same shape. But up a fifth. So
Okay.
it's, you know.
Oh,
It's like a
that's
guitar.
good.
But it's double steel strings, and the bottom two courses are octave,
Oh.
like a 12 string. It's
see.
a killer instrument.
See, you know what he was talking about? Like, why you got to tune it that way on certain instruments? Certain tunings gives you that Middle Eastern or Eastern or whatever that real
Flavor.
yeah, different flavor, and it's I think alternate tuning is badass, man.
Mm.
Yeah, it is.
So is it tough on your fingers like a mandolin?
I've learned how to deal with it. Cello is like, you know, you're rubbing your fingers across these wires for hours on end. And so they've gotten tough. I didn't like steel string guitar before. I used to play nylon string guitar, but I wasn't very good at it. But when I found bouzouki, man, it's the lower gauge strings and except for the fat ones on the bottom, and they're doubled. So yeah, it's hard on your fingers.
That's amazing. You've got some really
Odd
ethnic
instruments.
instruments.
So I play another one.
Okay.
It's called the zurna. It's a double reed horn with just a little wooden flared horn with a double reed, a grass reed, like an oboe. I used to play oboe when I was growing up.
A double oboe reed.
It's like an oboe reed, which is a double
Wow,
reed.
wow.
But it's like my friend, the drummer in our group, Sherife, back at home, calls it a battle oboe. Yeah, because it's the Janissaries in Turkey used to use these, and they're big drums that they have with a big stick and a little stick. They go, and they terrorize their enemies before battle.
Okay.
Wow.
So
that's
instead of that,
great.
now they use it for weddings. You parade a drum and two of those guys.
So it has a pretty aggressive kind of nasally type of tone.
Yeah, it's the opposite of the cello. That's why I love it, because I can, if I want to go in one direction, I can pick up the zurna and play.
Okay,
If
so-
I want to be beautiful, I can play the cello.
It sounds like when you watch. Have you ever seen like in
Game
Thailand?
of the
There's
Thrones?
Thailand. There's these boxing matches, Muay Thai
Oh, the
matches.
Muay Thai,
and they
yeah,
have that.
yeah.
Is it similar to that kind of that instrument?
From what you sounded like, it would probably
okay.
be.
Wow.
but I
Yeah.
don't know it per
No,
se.
that's not a bubblegum rapper. They were like
blade
that,
of
right?
grass.
Yeah.
It's like a blade of grass. Man.
It's very cool that you've got access to these instruments and own them. And
Because of Balkan Camp, I have teachers there that I've managed to find the instruments to them, and singing. I sing in Greek, Arabic, Turkish, Macedonian, Bulgarian, but I read Greek so I can read the lyrics in the original Greek.
Wow,
Wow.
that's
Wow, that's-
beautiful,
and
man.
Sing all these vocal styles have a lot of melisma, you know, like instead of just going you go
So let's talk about that.
speaks to my
You remember
heart.
that mentor that
I introduced Brian to my Indian music guru, and he was giving Brian a lesson in raga.
Oh yeah.
oh my god, that sounds similar. I mean, it's
There's a similar idea. There's a system of scales, and then there's
so it's all the
movement.
microtones between the note to the note or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Wow, that's just right there. That's that scale. Oh my god,
And
that's
it
beautiful.
brings out. I feel like I can I can express myself so much better with this type of music, even though I didn't grow up with it.
Yeah.
Because it pulls out those emotions and those tones that you don't get in normal 12-tone Western
exactly.
thing.
So it's not 12 tones. How many tones is that, Andrea? That kind of
It's almost infinite.
It's infinite.
Infinite.
It's infinite.
See, that's the part we talk about. Playing outside or whatever. You playing, 8-tone or what have you. That type of skill passages is just out of this world to me, man.
Well, that's what makes the blues so exciting. And when you play and you bend notes on the guitar and you put some distortion and it sort of shreds the envelope of the sound. And the cello, it's fretless, so I can go smoothly anywhere on it.
Anywhere,
and
exactly.
then any harmonic on anywhere.
Yeah.
And you can just get right at what you're chewing on and what you're trying to say.
Yeah. No, it really whatever you feel what you want to create, it's there. Like a violin.
Potentially.
Cello, it's there.
The instrument's always ready to go there, whether I can get
Like,
with it or not.
no, like last night, man, it was spectacular. It was,
speaking of
really fun.
So what happened last night, guys? Brian, fill us in.
oh my God, Andrea can have the honor.
Yeah,
and
Andrea,
explain
what
it
happened last night with you
Because
guys?
you like to surprise
It
me.
was
so.
magic, Maui magic.
Awesome.
I love to surprise Brian, and I knew when I met James, when I first met him and we jammed, I was like, okay. And he said, oh, are you performing anywhere? I said, I want to come and see you. I said, oh, no, you have to come and sit in because I know somebody who's going to really be excited to. These guys they're kind of alike,
She was so right.
That's awesome.
I knew Brian was going to love it.
Wow, yeah. I mean, this guy was just from tuning up or practicing a passage. I'm like, oh my God, this guy is just going to be off the charts.
So how do you guys approach that? James, do you get to jump in to like if someone's playing somewhere, do you get often get to, hey, bring that and come and play? Does that happen a lot with you?
Not in a year and a half. I've done a real wide variety of things from being in bands. I was in a band called County Road X with Eric Deutsch. He's a fabulous keyboardist who toured the world with a lot of great groups, and Charlie Hunter and
Wait, Charlie Hunter?
yeah, he was a keyboard player for Charlie Hunter for a while.
Wait, Charlie Hunter, the he
Guitar.
plays the bass and guitar.
Yeah, Wild.
I got the guitar.
Oh wow!
Yeah, I just started learning it. I just bought. They made it for me.
Sweet.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
So I was in a band, but this
Wow.
guy we had pedal steel and cello and drums, bass, piano, and sax and trumpet.
What a cool
And it was
ensemble.
It was really great. Then he moved to Brooklyn. Now he lives in Mexico City. But he has a podcast. He has a radio show out of Mexico City.
Okay, what's the name of it? Is it something that we can tune into?
There is. I don't know it off the top, but Eric Deutsch.
Well, when you find out, and then I'll put a little thing of it.
Try and get it
Yeah,
because
okay.
he's played. I did an album with my solo cello in a large tank, empty tank, 65 foot tall by 30 foot diameter tank, conical roof, and a slightly bowed floor, so there's no parallel surfaces, and the reverb is tens of seconds. And I did a whole album called Inception. It's on Bandcamp, James Hoskins.
Okay,
and
let's look that up.
It was the first multi-track cello with 4 mics hung at 30 feet, 15 feet, and then a couple of them in front of me.
Mackerel.
So the sound swirls around and gets to those mics at different times, and it's just this rich psychedelic lovely experience.
So some of these and were these compositions that you wrote?
It was completely improvised. I had a set of things.
I love it.
And just played with the tank because you got to play with the reverb and breathe with it.
Oh my God.
So I could play a series of notes from low to high in sequence, and they would all end up in the space at the same time, like a chord. And so
that's amazing.
And you just let it ring out, and you hear the different notes flying around.
So
it's like that bowl. And then
you a cello in a huge tank.
So you said you multi-tracked?
Yeah, we did I called the Big Bang, which was the history of the universe in like 2.5 minutes. So all of these tracks I recorded like a couple of minutes, one after the other, different styles of music and stuff, and then all blended together in a through it, this one lovely melody is playing, but you can't hear it from the chaos. And at the end, everything goes away except that one lovely melody. Then it goes to silence, and that's how the end.
Man, I am looking
man.
forward to hearing
You know
that.
what?
We wanna hear that.
Okay, you know, right there, when it's totally improvised, that makes me happy.
It made me very happy. Too.
Wow.
That's why you
James,
knew you guys would
are
love
a
each other.
monster.
So
You
James,
are not leaving.
James, you have it on Bandcamp.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, do you have physical like CDs or anything we can pick up?
Yeah, if you go to cellohoskins.com, that's CELLO and my last name HOSKINS,
Okay.
cellohoskins.com. There's links to SoundCloud or videos, and then to Bandcamp.
Okay.
Now the album Inception, I didn't want to create another piece of plastic that everyone would throw away, and so I just made a digital album. But I had an artist friend make an art book. It was kind of the dimensions of the tank, maybe a 8x10 or something. And it has an individual photo or digital painting rather. It has an individual digital painting of each of the cuts. There's 6 cuts. He would only paint when he was listening to that cut. They each have their own kind of color palette, and
No.
and it made an
that's
art
awesome.
book with the text and stuff that's available too.
We got to get our hands on that.
Oh,
We
James,
gotta,
I feel not worthy to even be on stage with you, man. That's just amazing. That's
It's
stuff
okay.
that.
Me too. I feel unworthy to be with you, so it works out.
That's so awesome, man. What you just said about that reverb and oh my god.
So this tank,
I want to go
what
buy
was
a
it
tank.
like a like
propane?
no, not a propane.
I squeezed into that.
You
no, like
squeezed
a,
it in there.
no, like a. There's a.
Oh, sorry.
What would it be like a silo kind of thing?
Okay, so it was a brine tank. It was supposed to be built for the railroad. It's in the middle of nowhere in this near the Halliburton oil fields and near Dinosaur National Park in northwestern Colorado.
Oh, that's what me and Warren Buffett, we invested in oil and stuff. Yeah, okay.
right.
So
Yeah.
they built this tank and they moved it to this other ground, but then the ground wasn't right, so it wouldn't support it. That's why the bottom of it's kind of slightly bowed, giving it unique characteristics. And so this friend, who is sort of at the head of this, it's tanksounds.org. If you go there, you can read all about the tank.
Tanksounds.org. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he was on a Chautauqua tour in the 70s, 80s, something like that, where they went around to different places and he would record natural sounds and mix them together. He's a beautiful sound artist, does installations all over the world. And these 2 locals kidnapped him in a truck, threw him in the truck. Then at that time, you could only get into the tank with a 18-inch hole, like for a pipe fitting kind of thing. So you shoved him in there, closed it up, and then threw rocks on the outside so that he heard the reverb of the thing. This is what their idea of what to do with this tank was. And he just like said, wow, I got to do something with that. And eventually he started this order of the tank, these fellowship, and they were going to have to sell it. So for scrap, they were going to take it down, and it's this amazing sound environment, like a poor man's Taj Mahal. Wow!
Wow.
And so we did 2 Kickstarter campaigns, made $90,000, refurbished it, cut a big hole so I could bring my real cello in, and they put a control room container outside and outfitted it,
That is
and then painted it and put the names of all the donors on the inside. And now you can go there and sing in it and play in it. They have a season starting
Okay,
up.
I'm trying to
You know
pull
what?
this up.
It's great.
What is it
It's
called, please?
Tanksounds.org.
I'm gonna look for an oil tank down in Kahului.
No, it was a brine tank, but it was like never used. It says Rio Grande on it because of the railroad.
So,
Anyway,
obviously, so he bought this tank,
yeah.
and did he leave it where it was found, or did he put it on a truck and hauls it around to
Dude,
use?
it's 65 feet tall by 30-foot metal plates.
I want a reverb like that.
I mean, that is heavy. You're not going to move that thing anywhere.
I want a reverb in it. I don't want to use Yamaha now.
It's a unique. In fact,
Oh, my.
you can get your music tanked. You can send it, and they'll play it in the tank, and it'll put that unique reverb on it, and they'll send it back to you.
Oh my
like
God.
Capitol Records used to do in Hollywood. They had a
I'm gonna send it to
basement
your-
with a plate reverb.
I'm gonna send it to your mailbox.
So
and they would pipe
obviously,
the music down and bring it up.
it's there's a entrance other than that 18-inch hole, right?
Now there is because of the Kickstarter. But I went and recorded a first album there, and we slept in it. We had to go in through this hole. I couldn't fit my regular cello in, so I had to use a portacello. That was
Portacello.
well, it's one you use on a construction site, Andrea. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay, here we go.
There it is. So I went in there.
Insane.
The Tank Center for Sonic Arts is returning to a normal schedule. Oh, they hold concerts in there?
Yeah. Bill Frisell, other people have been done things.
I want to play.
I want to play
Laurie
there,
Anderson.
man. That is so cool. Okay, so I want to hear your album first of all. So
Bill
you got
Frisell? Oh
You
my
can go to
God.
Bandcamp.
Okay.
It's called Inception.
Okay, I'm gonna
Check it out. And it just has various
I'm gonna write this down.
various focus on the
I
different.
want to play that.
This is so cool.
I want to play
Info,
that.
James.
Okay, when we tour, that's one of the stops.
That's one of the stops.
I'm sorry, Brian, but you have to be you have to play less notes than you usually do, or it just becomes cacophony.
No. I'm gonna play one note every year. So 11 years takes me to finish one scale.
That's deep, man.
This is incredible. This is incredible. So it looks like I wish there's other pictures here. Oh, they are. No, there's no.
There should be. Yeah.
Okay, so that's probably in the tank. Look at that. That looks so cool, don't you think? Look at that. That's beautiful.
So they built that. See that container?
Right here.
Yeah, that's a shipping container. They outfitted and made a deck between, and then actually cut a huge door so they can get in my cello, but then they can also get in timpani and a stand-up bass, and people can get in through that door.
So these microphones, they're hung up higher up from the ceiling, or
at that time they hung a microphone 30 feet up high.
You got a picture? You got
And then
pictures
15
of that?
feet up high.
let's look in. Maybe they got pictures of the inside. Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. What is that? Hieroglyphics on the wall?
And I believe that's Bruce Odlin on the right, but who's the guy who discovered it? Yeah, those are the names of all the donors for the Kickstarter campaign. Wow. My godmother funded me a day of recording in there and became one of the donors. My name's up there.
That is very. Oh, there you are,
God.
right here, James. No, but this is just incredible,
it's a
incredible
real
thing. Thank you
resource.
for. Brian, is this crazy or what?
Yeah, man, it's really beautiful.
Look, if I didn't play with him last night,
We'd never known about this
nothing, man.
tank.
Andrea,
and-
thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, Andrea.
Thank you.
Another
This is
Maui
like
dream.
incredible. You're like you're on my bucket list. I want to play music there with you guys.
All right.
Okay, so the
my
tank.
God.
Anyway,
Yeah, I want to. Yeah, there's so much that is great.
Jeez.
Just a cool thing.
I've had a really diverse career in music. I was in Hollywood for 4 years and stopped being a chemical database manager in the Bay Area, and my wife got a postdoc at USC and studying fluid dynamics, and she moved us there, and I didn't have anything to do, so I put an ad in a recycler, the little throwaway, and I'm the only guy this one friend has ever called from that, and he created this band called Collaborating Cultures, and it was made up of just the most amazing, or Koku for short. It was we became the house band at Stock Exchange, Flaming Colossus, these epic, seminal late 80s, early 90s bands around LA. And it was all improv. We would decorate, and anyone could be in the band. Some nights it was 10 new people.
I dig that,
It
man.
just was an astounding, throw me into the fire kind of experience, and I learned how to play just improvisationally with people for very high profile audiences.
Wow,
That's so
love
cool.
You know
That's
what, James?
awesome.
I'm beyond impressed. I'm like, I want to flip these tables on you. I want to tackle you still. Yeah, I still want to tackle you outside, but I'm gonna be nice.
But it planted the seed for my love of folk music from these other countries. But we would do original music, but use a lot of interesting instruments. And there was capoeira and parading. We had long horns, like Tibetan horns, that we would blow and go through these clubs.
So when you say we, what is it, like an orchestra? A bunch of people, or 5 guys, 10, 20?
I think my wife kind of characterized it as a hippie funk orchestra
yeah.
with circus.
So how
elements.
many people at the most at any time?
I don't know. It ended up sort of coming down to about 10 people that were actually regular. And then at these clubs, like Bono would hang out. And
Wow.
so he sponsored us to go into A&M Records and and do a couple of cuts of some of the songs we did at that time. And there was some other bands that came out of it, people that have played with Mickey Hart and that Beck and Gay Guitar was a group of two of the players in there. Greg Kirsten, who's now a world famous producer of Adele, and Tommy Jordan, who was just such a wonderful buddy. He was the center of this whole thing. He would be playing steel drum, and he would
Hopping
play-
around and
play
tumble and
trumpet.
go grab another
He was
instrument.
an acrobat, and so he would walk downstairs on his hands, and then he would jump off speaker stacks, and we'd catch him.
I dig that stuff, man.
Brian, we need to hook you up.
No, James.
This was serious.
No, I
introduction.
can I audition like tomorrow
This
or like
was in
tonight?
the 80s, man.
No,
I don't care. Let's start it up, man.
It sounds like the Circus Olé.
Circus.
Circus de Olé.
Olé.
Wow.
So anyway, that shaped me. But then my wife hated it, Los Angeles, and got an offer to be an assistant professor in Boulder, Colorado. So we moved from Hollywood to the mountains of Boulder, above Boulder, 7,000 feet, forest with like mountain lions and bears on our porch,
Whoa.
and
Oh, my.
foxes and everything.
Wow.
And so I was like, what the heck? So I found people, my dearest friends still to this day in Boulder, who played Balkan music, and a bass player from LA, and my best buddy Jesse Mano. Paul Brown was a bass player I played with in these groups in LA, and Jesse Mano
Jesse and Paul, they're gonna all see this show,
yeah.
and then anything you want to shout out or just say something to embarrass them.
Those guys skewered me in 1995. Independently, they got me to go to this Balkan camp. And when I got there and they played those notes and those rhythms and got me drunk in the middle of the night in the forest, it was like, heal! and I was so altered, my wife had to get her son. And so she started coming back, and we've gone every year except for one since then, 25 years or so. And she became a great dance leader. I've learned all these instruments, to sing in all these languages, dance, all this stuff. And it's just completely altered the trajectory of my life.
You know,
It's like better than Burning Man, man. I swear.
Oh my gosh, so much better.
is this
Oh,
kind of like what
wow.
you're talking about?
Yeah, look,
There it
so
is.
there's the Godolka.
Wait, which one's a Godolka? This one?
The one with the bow.
Oh, right there.
In that's
That guy?
Yeah. And this is my friend Paul Martin Beck.
Is that a canoe?
It's a
This
Kyoto.
one?
it's a semblum.
Oh, a similar.
Semblum from like Hungary. He lives in Portland. He's one of my dearest friends. There's I know all these people. They're all friends, and that's the environment just in the redwoods.
Oh my God, that's beautiful, man.
It's
so awesome.
It's magical, but different than Maui, but magical.
Wow.
The man on the right here, zoom it back out again.
This one?
Yeah, the man on the right there.
Right here?
He's one of the best musicians in the world. Adam Good. He plays oud. He writes sublime Turkish art music style composition.
What is he playing? Is that a
It's an oud.
Okay. And you have one of those, right?
No, I don't play oud.
Okay.
It's just one of the things I let other people play.
Wow.
Now, I have a
Very eclectic.
I have an ukulele student named Anne. Hi, Anne.
I am.
And she plays the gamba. Are you familiar with the gamba?
Between
viola da gamba.
the viol of the legs.
Yeah.
With frets,
Yeah, and well, it's like
gut strings.
like frets. You can move them, but I'm planning to do something with her and some gamba players on the island.
Wow.
Yeah, so
There's gamba players on that?
yeah, there are great gamba players, and
Wow.
I'll introduce you to them. And hopefully, we can have them on the show. Ginny and oh yeah, she plays gamba too. Yeah, okay.
Wow. Renaissance Maui.
Yeah. But I really dig this vibe.
I like that
Look at
vibe,
that.
yeah.
The only thing missing is the campfire in the middle. Well, that probably happens at night,
That's a
right?
different
It happens at
location.
night. Okay.
There is another one. Yeah, it happened at night. Yeah, you've been to Middle East camp,
Yeah.
right?
I've been to Balkan camp too.
Oh, that.
Wow. See,
Wow.
that's awesome.
So what I'm noticing is I don't see one music stand. Or is it everybody just got the songs down?
This is an ensemble. I learned to learn tunes by ear at this camp, and you learn them a few notes at a time. You have let's say you have 3 to 5 classes. So you have 4 classes during the week. You learn 3 or 4 tunes each class, and singing, playing instruments, or an ensemble, a group of people playing, coordinating with a drum class and a vocal class. So you got like 40 people at the end all coming together to play some songs. You go home and you've gotten like 16 to 20 tunes that if you like them and you got a band to play with and they like some of them, you work them up and they become part of your repertoire. We have hundreds and hundreds of songs from all these different regions.
And everybody's kind of responsible for either making their own charts or just memorizing.
Yeah, you learn it however you can.
Right.
Yeah, I would record it.
Oh, you would?
Yeah, you record it and then you put it in a slow downer, a looper, transcribe, whatever, and then work on it piece by piece and then work it up. Eventually you can play it. With the wild, strangely changing.
Brian could
frets.
join that circle in the forest with that.
He's showing me
he would be welcome. He would be welcome.
Yeah, the Charlie Hunter style. Yeah.
So here's bass.
Two different amps. And then why are the frets like angled like that?
Fan for a better stability.
Intonation.
Intonation.
Oh, intonation because they're bass strings in there.
Yeah. So that come out through the bass amp and then guitar amp.
It's bi-amped.
Yeah, it's two inputs.
Oh, that's a piece.
Yeah, so it's not. Yeah, it's pretty amazing, man.
What a mind melter.
It's beautiful, man.
But check this out, though. Let's look at this real quick.
Yeah, so there's Inception, and then
Solo Cello
and then Sala Sala is the album of we did of all the Greek, Arabic, Turkish, and Bulgarian songs.
I love the artwork. Who does that?
So that was a friend of ours who's a great painter, Kara Priest, and
Look at that.
that's my wife leading the dance.
Where? Right here?
No, in the middle, in the end of the line to the left. There.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
my wife. And then our friend Diane. And then the third man he's going to turn 90. We're going to play his 90th birthday next year. And he is like her Greek dance guru. I'm in the tree
There you
playing
are.
cello.
Uh-huh.
No, that's Jesse playing oud. Look,
There you are. There
that's
you are.
me. And then our former drummer, Kathleen. And Paul Brown, who I mentioned, is playing the bass underneath. And then to the left is Beth Quist.
Oh, we love Beth.
And Beth Quist she was a contemporary of ours. We started this band together. She's a friend of Willow's, and her initials are EQ. So,
Man, this is this a
so she painted it in the style of the primitive American primitive, and my wife surprised me for my birthday a year back. And got me a puzzle made by Liberty Puzzles, which are laser cut wooden puzzles, very high quality, lovely puzzles of this picture. So we do this puzzle. I can find myself in it, you know.
Man, you know what I find striking and just really pleasing about this artwork is the blues, and then up in the right hand you got a little dash of purple, but also the steps of that church maybe.
Yeah.
It's just incredible. I love art like this. It's just so and then the shadows from the people, their legs.
Isn't this a beautiful
Yes,
painting?
It's insane. It's incredible.
I have the original hanging in our front hall.
You do?
Yeah.
Oh man. I'm wondering if they have did she make like prints, copies?
Yeah, we have prints.
Okay, I'm gonna talk to you later about that.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, I really like that.
And
Okay.
Sala Sala is one of the name of it is one of the pieces we played in the Greek music night a couple nights ago, Andrea.
That's the Sabah one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then now the album or the music that you did in the tank, which one is that?
Inception on the upper left.
Okay.
Oh my God.
And that's the booklet that's
Hey James, that
if you click on each cut, you'll see the painting for each
look
one.
at that. It's infinity. That it seems like you're gonna go through a different door every single time.
Exactly.
What a nice cover.
Yeah.
Who did the cover?
My friend Michael Blenderman and my other friend Malachi Tharp did the graphic layout in the book.
Beautiful, man. I like it.
It's funny that because it was such an incredible recording in the tank that I'm going to research even more after or later.
Cool.
Is that you didn't say much about it in here? You just said
Oh, it's down
65
further.
tall. Oh, it is.
I mean, you just can't have that
All too much of that,
Here's the
right?
credit.
Oh man.
So, the man who did the mixing and mastering, Joseph Lukasic, I'd actually met him because I play in a klezmer band, and he's a great klezmer clarinetist. But he was also professor of electronic music at CU Boulder, and he's a composer, and he took some of the cuts I'd made, on cello, and put them through a granular synthesizer where you can scrub back and forth over the waves, and then
Wow,
it sounds
just
like I'm
blown
playing
away.
cello underwater. So I called it a Dreaming of Whales.
Uh-huh.
And
You got like a excerpt, like a small sample of.
yeah, go to a Dreaming of Whales,
Oh, you're right there.
and then play that. Click on it. See if it changes the picture. Click on the words Dreaming of Whales. Does that...
My God.
There. So this
Okay.
is the picture that he drew for this one.
James, you're not leaving, man. I promise, man.
So
I can't believe what I'm hearing.
so this person who did the engineering,
Yeah.
did he have free reign to do
He composed this piece because
off of what you were playing though?
because in the first time I'd been to the tank, I did an album, and I did this whale song kind of stuff. And so this time I was going to have all day to record, and I thought I'd do it for an hour. Well, they kept having to technically do things to set up those mics, and they were soldering cables and stuff, and I kept getting put off. I couldn't record in the morning.
Because
I couldn't
what was
record in
this?
the
because
afternoon.
the technical
They were setting it up.
kind of like how we were doing this morning, setting
Yeah.
up the cables.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was tying. It was tying up. Yeah, he was using his dental floss to plug in his ukulele and stuff.
Yeah,
so.
it was radical, man.
I could imagine the
But so as far as like, oh no, go ahead.
no.
Hey.
I was just saying I could imagine the trouble and the time and effort it took to
so
set it up.
So I kept getting put off and put off. Finally, I was getting really nervous and pent up. And I was only able to record because my wife took over soldering of like mic cables so that the engineer could record me. And I had between 8:30 and midnight, because they were going to fly away the next day. I only had a few hours to accomplish everything, and finally, by the end, after we'd done it, I had 5 minutes to do whale sounds instead of hours, and so I was so disappointed.
So
So my friend took some of my cuts and composed and enacted a piece that sounds like that.
Sounds great.
So James, how long in your mind? How long does a piece? How long you want to make the piece go for? Like 15 minutes, 20 minutes? Is it like
I had no idea. I just did the thing until it ended. Wow. Because it was improvised.
yeah.
And so the compositions that came out were just, it's like, wow, did I do that? Where did they come from? I don't know.
So you just start off just from one note and you're just going to infinity.
Actually,
What is
the title track, Inception, was the first thing I did there when they finally said rolling. And I was so pent up, just finally I get to record. But what I did was just play a C as long as I possibly could and played with it, and just one note as long as it took to get into it. And then I
So
started
all-
doing harmonic singing over the top
Well,
of it.
that track
Yeah.
Inception is like almost 10 minutes long. It's 9.11 seconds long.
Yeah.
That's
Eleven.
it's definitely
11.
it's definitely not
911.
it's definitely not pop song. A 4 minute, 3 minute pop song.
No. This is
The only thing that pops is Big Bang.
Yeah, I see that. A two,
no. So improvised music is totally different. We all know that from just having something 3 minutes 12 seconds. This
yeah.
is like something meditational. This is therapeutic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can. I've done like Salung or Qigong and other things to it, and it puts me in a great state of mind. And then so the first track is chakral zones. My godmother requested I do something based on the chakras, so I assigned the notes like an arpeggio to the 7 chakras.
Yes.
So C is the bottom, then E flat, and then G, and then B flat at your heart, and then F at your throat, D at your third eye, and then A.
So why are you
at
jumping
the top?
Why are you going like
It just worked out
on
that
a
way.
sixth, a fourth, and all that?
Yeah,
No. I'm just in arpeggiating.
You just arpeggiate.
It makes a C minor 9 and like a C minor 9.
So what's your good? The C on the
or
bottom.
13. C
C?
minor 13. Yeah, C, E flat,
Okay.
G, B flat, D, F, A.
Chakra zones.
So it's kind of
Chakras
like,
on. So every time I played that note,
So it's like
I focus my attention on that spot.
so it's like an E flat major, like
No,
C minor?
B flat major.
also B flat. So it's like kind of like you doing the 2 from the B flat then, and you're going up the arpeggiate. You're arpeggiating the C minor off the B flat.
Yeah.
Tonality of a B flat.
So I would think of it as a C minor 13.
I
Yeah.
always
That would be like in a B flat, I would say.
But
or
so sequentially, if I went C, D, E flat,
Yeah.
F, G like that,
Yeah.
it would go from the bass
Yeah.
to my forehead to my navel
Yeah.
to my.
That's beautiful,
Right?
man. I am impressed.
So and then if I skip, then I can go linearly up the chakras. If I play linearly, it goes
So it's just
around
like Big
different-
Island, Maui,
Yeah.
Molokai. Yeah, and then
If you put
Niihau.
your attention there, yeah,
yeah,
you can
that's
do that.
Awesome.
chakra zones. I enjoy when I write compose a piece and it's done. I'm happy with it. The fun part is naming the tune,
Oh yeah.
and I've got a kind of more comical approach to. I try not to take my music too seriously, and it kind of shows. And then especially with the titles. So let's look at this harmonic play. Really dig that.
Because I play with harmonics a lot, right?
Yeah.
You heard
Yeah,
when I
yeah, oh yeah.
So
all night last
so
night.
if you here drop the needle on that one.
Okay.
If you
Oh wait, let me get it. The picture in there too. Oh, look at
so
that.
those are the harmonics spinning around.
So the
listen
same
to that.
artist does this as that did all the
He
other-
did the whole book,
Okay,
the
wow.
cover and the 6 cuts.
Nice.
So
That sweet like distortion / feedback is incredible on the cello.
yeah.
It's natural. You don't need an amp to do that, which is crazy.
Wow, that's beautiful, man.
It's a lot slower paced.
The overtones,
Yeah.
biasing the harmonics generated through extended bowing and fingering techniques. I was able to put a spread of tones into the air in a
That's
short enough
beautiful,
time
man.
period to allow the extreme reverb of the tank to have a chance to create clusters of notes heard together through produced
I felt
sequentially.
that one.
Yeah.
That one.
Yeah, you feel. So I was just playing, exploring what these things would do, but it turned into a piece.
I felt sad right there. There was some sadness.
Wow.
Wow. Oh, that's crying for help. I'm gonna make an album like this with the guitar. I'm set. This is so beautiful.
That was great. I
Wow.
want to
Anyway,
I want to download
James,
this.
I am just
Going back.
48
Gotta
hours
be
to
okay.
change my life.
let's
Yeah, I've changed my life, son.
you've changed mine.
Oh no.
Yes, and-
Wow.
Okay, and how about this one? Cello improvisations.
So that's
What is that? Rocks and leaves, or what is this?
so yes.
River rocks and
It's a path in the Denver Botanic Gardens. I was there playing a quartet, a wedding, and my wife was going around. She's a brilliant photographer. She finds things in nature and focuses in on them and makes these beautiful abstract
I like it. man.
photographs, and so that she took that.
That
yeah.
that was a pathway with rocks.
Pathway.
With
yeah,
river
in the
rocks.
botanic
beautiful,
gardens.
man.
With the tree leaves falling.
Yeah,
falling
yeah,
down.
it was the time of year.
That's crazy, man. That looks so cool.
Looks like
Yeah.
fishes or something.
Yeah, that's what I
yeah.
thought it was. I thought it was fishes.
Yeah.
Some people think it's Peruvian potatoes, but
I thought it was like a corn on the cobs floating across the river. You know?
Okay, going with
could be anything.
going with my my thing about titles of songs.
I like that tone poem.
Pour
I like
in
that.
a little sunlight. Earnest. Whale
Also,
tank.
whale tank.
Triage.
Yeah,
Triage.
that was the
Oh yeah,
original
yeah, yeah.
thing.
What's feet through mud?
It's like it sounds like
I want to hear that. I want to hear
okay.
that.
We will. Here.
it's like the harmonic play where I was just exploring, and then boom.
Kind of like a scary movie.
Yeah, you could
It's
do
like a
that.
soundtrack.
Yeah, you could use these things like that.
I want to come here at night by myself. Go up the staircase. Put your music on. Come up the staircase in the dark
Be
with my
free.
liner's light and going like.
So
You can get it. You can get this on Bandcamp.
so I would have to like have I'd have to have a Bandcamp like app or something to do it, or,
You just go to the website bandcamp.com. This is
and then it'll just be
Cello
on-
Hoskins
Then I'll-
/bandcamp.com.
So Andrea, I got a question for you. So you do a lot of harmonic stuff too, and you know when you do like certain times when you harmonizing me vocally and you're just skying that note, and sometimes I like that imperfection, that the squeaks and all that. It works perfect. So now I can see all the harmonics, the squeals, the squeaks. I love all of that, man. So please keep doing it.
It's like hyper perfection.
So James, tell us about this one. Rest assured.
So there's an amazing sound healer. She doesn't like to call herself sound healer, but she's an amazing sound person. She does a lot of we would play shows and she would get a person on the massage table and play their spine because she hears. It's like synesthesia where she hears the sounds coming from the bodies of the people. And so this is actually an album for the parasympathetic system where most people are hyper cranked up and then unable to relax. And so we did a whole album with cello and her vocals and her sounds. It's fairly shamanic sounding, but it's amazing the effect it has on people and the resonance. And then with the cello, it really works well together. So this is more of a.
So did she direct your playing or
No, we just it was improvised again.
Oh wow.
See, improvise is cool, man.
Yeah, you can just get right at it.
I like it, man.
Yeah, I think that improvisation is really where the magic's at, you know? Because, I mean, if you're doing something by memory, if you're doing something the same way every time, you're not letting in space for
Yeah.
the magic to come. It's like, you know, people were blown away last night because the three of us, I mean, we had never, you know, I mean, I've barely played with James and just the synergy.
Yeah, that is
it was definitely.
We're just in the moment, tuning in and listening for what needs to happen, and that's when the magic can come.
Is there a lot of speaking of that, because I really dig that what you guys did, and I just like a small taste, you know. But speaking about what you were talking about, the improvisation, and it's here and it's gone, and that's it. Unless somebody was smart enough to have you guys plugged in and record it, then you can say this was this date at this location, and you know you have it, and then you can listen. It goes, oh, that's cool.
No,
And you can then the musicians can enjoy it at a different mindset, because when you're in there doing it, you're definitely enjoying it, and you're in it. It's a different kind of enjoyment. But then if you listen to the recording and you're like listening back, going, oh man. you're listening as a listener,
Well, that's
rather
not-
than a player. you know?
I think last night was the first time it was like virgin to everybody. It's like when you don't know who you're gonna play with, that's true improvisation. Last night I didn't know you at all. So when somebody come on stage, it's like, okay, so what are we gonna do? And it's like, what? Then I'm telling myself, what am I gonna do? How am I gonna inspire
I'm like,
these guys?
Brian, just trust me. Just trust me.
Yeah, it's like I'm telling Andrea now before we
You're
start.
gonna love this guy.
I said, I'm nervous. But once the electronics is in and you hear your instrument, then you hear and you know these guys are seasoned musicians, it's game on, man. It doesn't matter what we do, what chord, what arpeggio, where you came from, what color you are, what religion.
That's
It's
right.
just, we just flow.
That's why music's so awesome.
That's why music is so easy. It's not like, okay. No, I don't know. Stairway to Heaven. No. How about we go Stairway to Hell, but we come to heaven at the end? You know what I mean? It's just, it was amazing. I can't even start to thank again Andrea and James.
Yeah.
That was the most, as far as playing live, ever since I've been playing live since age 6, rather be with ukulele at a talent show, what have you. That was the most incredible performance. Not just me, just everything as a vibration together as a unit. It was amazing.
So
man.
so we got
Amazing.
a little taste
Yeah.
of you guys playing together, and I'm gonna share that in this episode.
Oh, excellent.
And what's the chances of you guys? How long are you here? Are you guys gonna be able to play again at the?
No, he's
I'm
leaving tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
So this is special, man. Last night, and then that's the special part. It's like this angel just landed on Maui, and then poof, now he's back at a different place.
I will be back. I have gotten 10 hooks at least in me since I've been here this week that are each one could drag me back by itself. It's inexorable now.
All right.
I'm the 11th one.
He's the 11th.
I mean, what an incredible James. Mahalo for being on the show.
Yeah, mahalo, man.
And I know that we only touched the surface because, man, you're like an onion. As we go deeper, I wanna like ask you more questions, but unfortunately, we can't have a 5-hour episode.
Yeah, and onion always cry when you peel the onion. You cry, I'm crying now. You're leaving.
But before I do, I gotta ask you about this.
Oh.
This is your latest multi-instrumental
No,
release.
This is the first Şerefe. Şerefe is the band. That, by the way, is a Turkish toast to your honor. Şerefe. It actually means, we heard from a Turk, what happens in Istanbul stays in Istanbul kind of idea. So you keep the honor of, because it's a drinking toast, but it's, you want to let go, but not have it come back in the newspaper the next day.
So what does the opium stand for?
Okay, so the same artist, remember who drew that village?
Yeah,
picture?
I can see the
She did this, and this was a while back. This
love
was
the
our
lines.
first album before any of these other albums.
Yeah.
And we played, we recorded in a church, and the things that worked were the things without a lot of rhythm as much. It kind of, like the tank, it gets muddy. We did include an Arabic tune at the end, and like 1001 Nights, Alf Layla wa Halayla, the intro, the 7-minute intro to this hours long.
7-minute intro.
I like that 7-minute intro.
See, that is it.
That's the kind of stuff we learned in Middle Eastern camp. Which
Yeah.
is why
I want to take a 1-year intro. Take 1 year to finish the intro, and the 10 years to finish the song.
Wait.
Right.
I gotta play my flute for that one.
Hey, can you show that clip of us before we leave?
I will. Yeah.
Yeah, the one with you and I.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah, can you do it like now?
No, not right
Why?
now.
How come?
Oh, this.
You gotta go sleep?
It's a lot of technical.
Okay,
things.
technical difficulties.
Ins and
Okay.
ins
But wait.
in the
Okay.
house.
Regarding this.
So I want.
Yeah.
The floor recognizes James Hoskins. So the slow things worked. So we tried to come up with a name, and Kara. This was the first portrait she'd done from her head. Usually she worked from a picture of or someone, but she came up with this, and we were just so in love with it. We brought it to this restaurant. And we had the painting there, and we were like, what should we call this album? All these slow, sort of dreamy things. So eventually we came up with Opium because it feels like sonic opium. And so it's more of the slower, kind of beautiful tunes as opposed to the more dancey stuff.
So, who is the model that posed for this?
There was no models. She came up with that out of her own mind.
You know what would be really,
That's
really
everything's improvised.
what would be very cool if this person showed up. If this person showed up at one of your performances, oh my god, wouldn't that be like?
That would be mine.
That'd be like
Mind blowing.
Yeah. Okay. So
Then we can't improvise though. You would have to stop. It's like,
I dig her art. I mean, you know,
Yeah.
it looks like she did it with chalk. Does she use chalk?
No, oils.
Oils. Oh, okay.
was that essential oils or MCT oils?
She might use essential oils
Yeah.
before she
Because
starts
he used like
painting.
Western oil and castor oil to
Well,
Yeah, that
paint
won't
your.
cast
Oh,
her
well,
oil.
yeah,
That's
but anyways,
dangerous.
actually, our good friend Dave.
Can I
We
say
wanna say aloha to Dave.
Hey, brother. Oh, yeah, brother Dave of Lahaina Cafe, the coffee shop. If anybody want to work, please contact Arlie.
Not me. I don't have a phone.
Okay, yeah, me too. Contact Dave at Cafe Lahaina Luna Road.
Yeah.
They make the best freaking coffee on the planet. They need workers, and check it out.
Yeah.
But yeah, we plugged brother Dave in.
Yeah, our
and
friends and
you get a $800 check tomorrow. Thank you, brother Dave. I love you, man.
I don't
Do
know.
I get a piece of that? Or?
Of course, you.
That was a like a really rough segue there, but
That's okay.
Anyway,
That's all right. We're all spontaneous,
yeah, we're
man.
spontaneous.
Yeah.
You know, combustion.
So you want to say bye?
How you feeling?
Yeah, let's go. I want to eat.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'd like to thank you, James.
I want to thank
Brother
you guys.
James,
You've made
thank
it
you so much,
Yeah.
such a
man.
beautiful.
It's such the coolest thing. I want to talk
Are you
more about.
flabbergasted?
I am. I mean, I think
Flabbergasted.
I'm just like hit at all angles with music.
Oh, we
with
have a
art,
plethora of
with,
music,
you
yeah.
know.
A-
And
a
Andrea,
veritable plethora.
mahalo.
Awesome.
It's good to see your beautiful face and your
Oh,
your.
thank you.
So much. Hey, her.
Andrea, yes, the beautiful
Yes.
face.
So once again, here at
The
RiFF. Mahalo.
Hello, Brother James, the best.
Andrea, mahalo.
That's it, man. It's steak. James,